said, see, living a spirit-filled life ain't just about what you shout on Sunday. It's about what you sip on Monday, chew on Tuesday, and snack on when nobody's watching. Because whatever you keep feeding yourself, that's what's going to grow. And baby, if you keep feeding on mess, don't be surprised when your spirit feels tired, confused, and out of sorts. You can't eat junk all week and expect to feel strong. Now let Grandma explain. Holiness ain't about perfection. First of all, let me clear something up before you start feeling condemned. Living a spirit-filled life does not mean being perfect. If perfection was the requirement, none of us would qualify. Not Grandma, not the preacher, not those clapping their hands. Godliness is about direction, not perfection. It's about choosing over and over again to move closer to God instead of closer to foolishness. But here's the part we don't like to talk about. You cannot keep inviting mess into your life and still expect your spirit to stay clean. That's like mopping the floor while the dog's still tracking mud through the house. At some point, you gotta shut the door. Know that mess comes in many forms. Now, when I say mess, don't just think about big obvious sins. Mess is sneaky these days. Mess looks like gossip disguised as prayer requests, drama disguised as that's just how I am, entertainment that feeds lust, anger, or fear, social media that keeps you bitter, jealous, or insecure, relationships that drain you but never grow you. I know I stepped on a toe or two, but sweetheart, what you consume consistently will eventually control you. You can't pray for peace and then binge chaos. You can't ask God to guard your heart while you keep opening the door to foolishness. God will keep you, but He won't override your choices. The first thing you must learn is you can't drink from every cup. Let me say it plain, like Grandma would at the kitchen table. You can't drink from every cup and still expect your spirit to stay clean. You can't sip from bitterness in the morning, lust in the afternoon, gossip at dinner, and then wonder why your prayers feel heavy at night. Some cups look fancy, some cups look fun. Some cups are passed around by people you love, but not every cup is meant for you. And just because everyone else is drinking it doesn't mean it's nourishing. Sometimes holiness is simply knowing when to say, no thank you, that don't sit right with my spirit. What you feed on will speak louder than what you say. Now, baby, you can say you love God all day long, but your habits are talking too. It's all about what you watch, what you listen to, what conversations you entertain, what thoughts you let sit in your mind rent-free. Those things preach louder than words. You can't keep feeding anger and expect kindness to grow. You can't keep feeding fear and expect faith to flourish. You can't keep feeding lust and expect your heart to stay pure. The Bible tells us, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Not some of the issues, all of them. Here's the part Grandma learned the hard way, and I'm trying to save you some trouble. Mess always costs more than it promises. It promises excitement but delivers regret. It promises comfort but brings confusion. It promises connection but leaves you empty. Mess never advertises the aftermath. It doesn't tell you about the sleepless nights. It doesn't warn you about the peace you'll lose. It doesn't mention how far you'll drift from God while you're just enjoying yourself. And the longer you feed on mess, the harder it is to hear God clearly. Not because God stopped speaking, but because the noise got louder. Holiness is about protecting your peace. Now let me tell you something real tender. Living holy isn't about rules, it's about peace. When you walk with God, your spirit becomes sensitive. You start noticing when something feels off. You feel it quicker when something disturbs your peace. And instead of ignoring it, holiness teaches you to honor it. Sometimes the Holy Spirit don't shout. Sometimes he whispers, "That's not good for you." Holiness is learning to listen to that whisper. You keep picking at the wound, sweetheart. Hear Grandma on this one. If God is trying to heal your heart, but you keep replaying old hurts, entertaining toxic people, or returning to the same old mess, you're reopening what he's trying to close. Healing requires boundaries. Growth requires discipline. Peace requires separation. Sometimes God's deliverance looks like distance. Now, don't think this is just a you thing. Even Jesus walked away from mess. He left crowds. He avoided traps. He didn't argue with fools. He didn't stay where hearts were hardened. If Jesus knew when to disengage, why do we think we have to entertain everything? Not every argument deserves a response. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every relationship deserves access to you. Holiness gives you discernment, and discernment gives you peace. You got to change the menu. Now here's the good news, baby. If you don't like how you've been feeling spiritually, you might not need a new prayer. You might need a new menu. Feed on the word, feed on worship, feed on gratitude, feed on stillness, feed on truth. And yes, sometimes that means turning off the TV, logging out of the app, changing the playlist, letting go of conversations that don't nourish your soul. Just like your body responds to better food, your spirit responds to better nourishment. Let Grandma lean in close for this last part. God is not mad at you. He's not standing there with crossed arms and a scowl. He's inviting you higher, but you can't climb while holding on to mess. You gotta lighten the load. Holiness is not about missing out. It's about gaining peace, clarity, and closeness with God. And baby, there is nothing you'll give up that compares to what you gain in Him. So today, sweetheart, ask yourself gently, what am I feeding my spirit? Is this drawing me closer to God or pulling me away? Is this nourishing me or draining me? And if something needs to go, don't feel shame, feel freedom, because you were never meant to live holy while feeding on mess. You were meant to live whole, free, and at peace. Now go on, baby. The decision is yours. Choose better. Always know that God's walking with you, and Grandma's proud of you. You've got this. Now, sweetheart, before you drift away, remember, you are never alone. You are loved more than words can say. If these words brought you peace, come back anytime you need a little comfort. And don't forget to subscribe to Renewed Mind 369 for more quiet moments from Grandma's heart.